Let's do a news story or something.
Hey, Dusty, you ever heard of Bill Donahue? Not Phil Donahue, but Bill Donahue from the so-called Catholic League?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. He's always on the fucking conservative, talk shows on the radio and on TV. And
I've probably seen him then.
I don't even know how many members there are of the Catholic League because he's the only one I've ever actually heard of. So I don't know if he's just a guy.
Maybe it's like the Insane Clown Posse, where it's not really like a posse or a league, you know? Like two guys isn't a posse, but this is like his little one-man league, you know? I'm the Catholic League!
Yeah, and he has some
one-man clown posse.
He has some interesting views on marriage and just interesting views in general.
The gold standard is a father and a mother creating a family. That's what was ordained by nature and nature's God.
Marriage was not ordained by nature. Most mammals don't couple.
Have you noticed anatomically?
I think it's beavers and elephants.
Have you noticed
and a lot of birds?
Yeah.
A lot of birds are at least semi-monogamous.
Did he say nature's God?
Yes, he said nature's God, as opposed to the other God of, not nature, I guess.
Yeah.
The God of artificial flavors and stuff.
Well, I hate to be a meme machine, but there's that popular meme that go around that basically says that homosexuality has been observed in over 2,000 species, but homophobia has only been observed in one. And that's human beings, assholes like this motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. He goes on a little more. He says some interesting things.
There's a goodness of fit
By interesting,
between a man and
stupid.
a woman.
Yeah.
Nobody's arguing that this is how you procreate, but marriage is about love and commitment, and the right to it is about equality,
marriage is about
and you know
family.
that.
Marriage is about family. It's not about love. Two sisters can love each other. Two people.
Marriage is not about love. Are you married?
That's an odd idea, by the way, in Western history. The idea that two people should get married on the basis of love. Now, hopefully, people will love each other.
Hold on one second.
Hold on. Well, first of all, I mean, I don't understand how gay people don't have families. Doesn't even jive with reality.
They live in the woods, like by themselves. And
They just materialize out of nowhere. They don't have families. They're just like.
And isn't love supposed to be part of family? I don't know.
No.
Maybe I have I think I have very different notions of family than
Catholic.
this Catholic
You're
League
only
guy.
supposed to fuck.
Well, he
to have,
said something.
No,
weird.
it's supposed to be through a sense of joyless obligation. Don't you understand?
He said something weird that I didn't understand. He was like, "You don't have to love each other to get married. Two sisters could love each other." What the fuck is he talking about?
I think he was.
He said two sisters could get married. I think it's pretty obvious.
He had just gotten through watching some lesbian incest porn,
like,
and so that was on his mind.
They
obviously.
should be married and naughty.
Yeah, let the two sisters marry, goddammit.
Well, basically, they're actually both wrong.
Mary Kate needs to lick Ashley's pussy right now.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, legally, marriage is just. I mean, you can get a totally contractual marriage without any religion or anything like that involved. Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
You're just making a contract between you and the government. I mean, I just got a divorce, and I don't really see myself getting married again. I don't understand what the fuck do I need to bring the government into my business? You know, they need to butt the fuck out of my business. They don't need to be involved in my marriage or my relationships. So the whole concept of marriage doesn't really make sense to me anymore.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can understand that. I know a lot of people who feel that way. I think some people do it just for the obvious beneficial reasons, especially if children are involved and stuff like that. It's a lot easier to keep your children in the result, like when you're married than it is when you're not married.
Yeah, it's basically for legal and economic reasons for most people now. Not really like, oh, I love you so much, we have to get married. Hurry up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more contractual. I don't know. It just seems very emotionless to me now.
Well, I think it's like half of baby boomers were married, and like 1/4 of millennials got married. So I mean, there's like a huge drop off in just a few generations.
And the concept is dying out, like anything that should.
Jeez. All right, I'm going to play some more of the video.
Smoke pen every day.
Historically, on duty and on commitment.
It's about love.
Today in our society
is love. The duty, the commitment.
If they love each other,
love.
that's great. It can't be the condition. Otherwise, you can sanction all the kinds of things I'm talking about.
Bill, first of all,
Right?
there's a lot here. We don't have the time to discuss them, but I do think we want to come back to a couple of basic propositions. In Arizona, there was no legal force making business owners do business with gay people if they don't want to. So the law fundamentally was unnecessary. The governor said it, that's why she vetoed it. The bigger proposition is, why do you want to discriminate against gays? You say we don't as individuals,
Right.
only the marriages bother us.
That's right.
But that's the same thing, because
No,
their
it isn't.
right as an individual is to marry. You do not own marriage. It was not developed by Christians.
I like that. That's a pretty ballsy statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever's talking there, it was pretty pimp.
Yeah, he's some guy that has a show on CNN. He was the guy that interviewed Dennis Rodman when he was all wasted the one time when he was in North Korea.
So every day of his life, is that what you're saying?
Well, it was when he was in North Korea. He was trying to ask Dennis Rodman why he wasn't being some sort of diplomat trying to free.
Yeah, that was a pretty dick move. But
yeah. So there's a few more minutes of it here. We'll hear what else this guy has to say. He's pretty insane. The one member of the Catholic League.
It is a civil situation.
That's right.
It's secular.
The Catholic
if they are
Church-
equal, they have equal rights.
The Catholic Church got its ideas on sexuality from Jews. That's correct.
And your idea
and
that
this-
marriage is better between a man and a woman is really about it being about one versus two, love versus not having love. That's what it's about.
I have Christianity, I have Judaism, I have the Muslims, I have Mormons, I have most of the world who regard this idea as being bizarre, that two men should get married.
All these religions think that.
I like how I like the idea that morality should be decided by popular vote.
Yep.
Because that's never really worked out in the past too
Well, he didn't even say more people. He said these religions that I'm about to name, they all agree that.
Well, he said that
homosexuality
he said
is
well
evil.
he said all those, and then he said like something like the majority of the world finds this idea bizarre. It's like, well, who gives a fuck what the majority of the world thinks?
No.
I mean, that's
So rights for only people in the majority is what he's saying and advocating for.
yeah. I mean, like the majority of people are against giving the minority of people their rights. Therefore, the majority is correct. It's like what? Huh?
It's an argument from authority, very basic logical fallacy.
It's argumentum ad populum or something. I don't know. That's the argument from
For popular
popularity basically.
opinion.
But yeah, it's pretty silly. I mean, his objections are just so archaic. I mean, I don't know. He almost seems like a man out of time.
Yeah. Well, he is pretty old looking. I don't know how he looks like he's in his 70s or something.
Maybe he should.
That's
maybe,
how all these guys are. They're just dinosaurs, you know. And they kind of seem scared to me. That's like when I was yelling at Cy 10. It just seemed like an old man, just out of his time, like he stepped out of a time machine from the past. It was actually really sad.
Yeah, I mean, like, and you know, I was just reading this article earlier about how all these. This is kind of going off topic a little, but all these conservatives now are like starting to have like this. They're really vocalizing like a really begrudging admiration for Vladimir Putin. Like, wow,
I've seen that shit. They're
Putin
like, he's
is
one
so,
of us.
He's so cool.
He's a great dictator.
If
he
on-
knows what's what.
If only he were our president. It's like what?
And it's amazing coming from that crowd, you know, that one that made the Russians such an enemy for so long.
Yeah, but now I
over
think
gay marriage and shit.
they'd feel more at home in Russia now. It's like, hey, a whole country of fucking
they want to
homophobes.
beat dissidents and gays. I can get on board with this.
And they have a
Well, I saw
one-party system to make sure that no one else can ever take any power. This is great. This
I
is
saw
like
the
the
Daily Show bit
Russia's
about
like
it.
the American dream.
Yeah, I saw the Daily Show bit they did about it. Was really brilliant, where they interviewed the rich millionaire who basically would fire anybody that wasn't a Christian, and he would force them to go to church and shit. It was all perfectly legal. So you can really understand, you know, that's exactly what the Christian Taliban wants to have created here in America. Unfortunately, this ain't fucking Russia, motherfuckers. It's America, land of the free and home of the brave still, where people will stand up and fight you every step of the way, and it ain't never going to let you let that happen. So you can just fucking take that pipe dream and shove it up your ass. It